So anyway, the Transformers Legacy line. Yeah, so I kind of gave up doing Transformers reviews for like the back half of Earthrise and all of Kingdom. But here we are. There's a new Transformers toy line coming out, and I figured I'd give my opinions on it. Because I do have the entire first wave of Legacy figures. So, let's start off with Skywarp, eh? So, Skywarp is a core class figure, which means he's a tiny little dude. So here's a redeco of the core class Starscream from Kingdom, which I also have, but I'm not tracking out for a comparison. Which means, of course, since Thundercracker is my favorite Seeker, that means he's going to be the last one released, which, well, there's something for me to look forward to. But anyway, yes, he's a black and purple F-15-ish looking jet, but legally distinct to avoid copyright, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yes. So he's basically an F-15, but he's not. He's got this nice painted orange cockpit, some silver thingies on the side. We've got a purple stripe and the Decepticon symbol on the wing, which looks really nice. He has purple tail fins and purple, I guess, what, jet boosters on the back? I don't know. I don't know jets. But, guess here's something interesting. He doesn't have his guns. For reasons we'll get to in the robot mode, the Legacy Skywarp figure doesn't include the null rays from Kingdom Starscream, which sucks. But anyway, since he's a core class figure, he's effectively based off of the Earthrise toy, just real small and yeah, real small. So I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's drag him out here. Comparison, baby. Let me move the camera back. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've transformed into the Earthrise jets, and geez, this guy is absolutely massive. Here's the thing. One thing I can say about the core class guys is that these things feel like toys. These are like actual just fun little toys you can screw around with. But these guys, by comparison, are like adult collector's items. Like compared to this little guy, he's got like the clear cockpit glass and like the white stripe on the wings, and he's freaking massive. Oh yeah, and he comes with the null rays. Of course, there are ways around the lack of null rays. In fact, let's just discuss this now. So, this is something I kind of got into around Kingdom, what with characters like Cheetor not coming with his freaking gun. So, allow me to introduce to you the world of third-party upgrade kits. I don't like third-party figures because they're way too expensive, way too hyped, and way too complicated. That, and I feel like every single person who collects third-party figures goes to the same school of thought as people who invest in crypto, as in the, oh, I invest in third-party guys, that makes me better than you kind of thing. Am I venting? I don't know. What I'm saying is I'm not a big fan of third-party figures, but third-party accessories, sign me up. Introducing the Null Ray upgrade kit for Legacy Skywarp by TF Lab. So this guy just basically took the null rays from Kingdom Starscream, I dropped it, and he turned them into 3D printer files. Of course, I don't have a 3D printer, but this isn't one of those guys that just sells you the files and says go nuts. He just 3D prints them and sells them off Etsy. So you just peg him into the side there, and boom, now he's all armed up. Of course, there are slight differences between these and the ones that come with the Starscream figure, but yeah, whatever. So there we go. Now he's complete. And as you can see, he's brilliant. Oh yes, and of course, here's, because I'm reading him up against, as you can see there, of course, with the Earthrise one, it has it to where the cockpit actually flips out and forms flips down and forms the chest, because it's basically the Classics toy, but bigger. And this one, on the other hand, fake cockpit chest, which I'm not a big fan of fake cockpits on Starscreams, because it means that someone just couldn't figure out how to engineer this to flip down. which, I mean, okay, whatever. Of course, this one, I think it does a better job of hiding the fake chest in jet mode than the siege toy did, because the siege toy just kind of sticks it on the back of the jet. This one at least puts it on the bottom where you wouldn't really look very much. So, that being said, it's a pretty nice little jet. I'll take this one out. It's a pretty nice little jet, pretty nice, fits in your hand pretty well. Of course, to get the guns, you gotta pay extra. I feel like third-party upgrade kits, especially ones of this nature, are basically just DLC. Null rays, $9.99. And so anyway, yes, nice jet mode. Enough said. So anyway, I'm not going to be reviewing the boxes anymore because I'm not getting those down from my closet. And so instead, we're just going to actually cover the transformation, which is something I never did on my old Transformers reviews for some reason. So anyway, let's get that started. Step 1, you want to fold up the little tail fins on the side. Then you're going to want to open up the fake chest there. Fold these down, and while you're at it, rotate these up. Kind of clicks into place, which is nice. And the legs, of course, also separate. The whole nose cone kind of extends out like that. Then you want to rotate the wings around. Fold this back. Fold the legs down if you haven't already. The nose cone pulls down and flips back like that. Head rotates 180 degrees. Fits into place there. You snap the chest closed. Pull the arms out because they peg into the wings there, and rotate the forearms. And there you go. This transformation actually does quite a lot, in my opinion. Like, it's really interesting in the way it does things. Because, like, you'd honestly think it would just be, like, this, like, flips around, wings rotate, legs kind of collapse into themselves. But, with the Earthrise toy. But, no, on all honesty, this one actually kind of finds ways to surprise me, just with the way the whole cockpit opens, or the whole chest opens up like that. Like, that's really cool. And of course, while we're at it, let's just compare this figure to the Earthrise version. Jump cut. Anyway, yes, here he is compared to the Earthrise Voyager, which you can see is about half the height there. Of course, let me get the third-party null rays on there so you can really make it a fair comparison. So, of course, apart from being, smaller, again, as you can see, transparent cockpit, solid paint cockpit. I do think the clear cockpit just kind of makes this figure feel a bit more premium, if I'm being honest. But of course, it's big and it's really cool, and I love it. I don't care what anyone says, it's a good toy. The Earthrise one. So, I mean, of course, this one, it's bigger, whatever. So, of course, it's going to be more premium than this little guy, but, I mean, whatever. As you can see, it kind of has kind of the same features here. The cockpit nose cone ends up on the back. Of course, this has the cockpit. This is the back of the cockpit, and this is the front of the cockpit. I mean, whatever. Missing some paint on the legs and the feet, and also on the waist. And again, what you gonna do? It's a tiny little toy. Of course, something else of note is that due to the way the Earthrise toy transforms, let me get this. The design on the wings ends up facing front, and they also have these little hinges. Whereas the Earthrise toy, or not the with the Legacy toy, it faces the back, but it does still have the little hinges. Which, I mean, again, tiny toy. It's kind of easy to not include that, and I honestly don't really care, if I'm being perfectly honest, because, I mean, you can't really see it anyway, like from the front, just because of where the arms are. But other than that, I mean, apart from some missing, like some more paint on this guy, and of course more detail, and more articulation or whatever. See, it's pretty one-to-one. That's kind of what I like about the core class guys, that they really do emulate their larger toys. They're not just like tiny guys, they're wholeheartedly different, like the Prime Cyberverse dudes. They are just outright scaled down. So, yeah. Anyway, we're not here to review the Earthrise toy. We're here to review this tiny guy. And of course, there's the null rays, the third-party ones, but on there. So anyway, let's talk about the articulations. He has a swivel at the head. He doesn't have a ball joint, so he can't look up and down. Ball joint at the end. Let me take this off so I can show that. Ball joint at the shoulders to move it out and forward. He can't move it back because of the wings. Well, I mean, he kind of can because the wings fold back. Swivel at the or bend at the forearm or the elbow, and also a swivel there, which is very tight on mine. He has a ball joint at the hips, move it out, forward, and back. Ball joint at the knees, move it back, and, well, I would say side to side if it didn't cause the whole arm to pop off. You can kind of do that. But unlike the larger figures, he doesn't have wrist, waist, or ankle swivels, which most core class guys don't. Of course, the problem being they sculpted his legs to where they're kind of tilted, or his feet were slightly tilted, so he kind of has to stand like this, but I mean, whatever. So you may be wondering, why on earth does this guy not have his null rays normally? Why do I have to buy these off Etsy? Well, it's because of this stupid little thing. So, a gimmick with the Wave 1 core class figures in Legacy is that if you buy all three of them, their weapons can combine into a bigger weapon, which isn't very good. But I will discuss that when we get to Hot Rod, because his is the top of the weapon. Whatever, I don't know. So, Skywarp here comes with this thing. Some people have called it just a tuning fork. It has a whole bunch of different ways you can hold it there. He uses 3mm posts, and so there's one here, so you can kind of use it as like a big whacking stick, basically. One here, so you can kind of hold it as a gun, which I think makes more sense. And then he also has one here. He also has one here, but that's more for the combination than anything else. But if you can find a way to use this as a weapon, then by all means, go for it. I think it's really stupid, if I'm being honest. I just kind of would have preferred the null rays. I mean, whatever. The combination is at least give you some sort of incentive to collect all the core class guys. Of course, they did away with that in Wave 2, because 2 of them are just re-releases of Kingdom guys. But, whatever. Of course, something interesting with the core class weapons is they don't just have the 3mm pegs the core figures can use. They also have 5mm pegs right here that the larger boys can use. So if you absolutely have to give Earthrise Skywarp or Siege Skywarp or anyone this thing, which due to the amount of pegs and the way it's sculpted, it's kind of hard for them to hold. If you absolutely have to give it to them, there you go. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I guess you could kind of repurpose this to the larger toys as some sort of like scanner device. Kind of see them like patrolling an area, like looking at this, like there's like a screen here or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm just trying to make sense of it. But anyway, yeah, that's Legacy Skywarp. Honestly, tiny little guy, but tons of fun. I'd say if you're really into smaller Transformers, or rather, let me rephrase. If you like Transformers, but you don't like the bigger guys with the complex transformations and like the extremely expensive prices, then the core class guys are your best bet. I'm really glad Hasbro kind of decided to start bringing these dudes back. Like the smaller guys like this. Because Primus knows nobody liked the Micromasters. So yeah. If you really want like smaller Transformers, these guys are awesome. Like the core class guys in general are really cool. So by all means, this guy is a win for me. this guy is a win for me. So, yes, Legacy Skywarp, out now. Go ahead, buy him. With all that being said, this has been Rod and Todd, signing off.